you said you still have slightly elevated hematocrit, with the polycythemia. Any other symptoms? I mean, the migraines are completely gone. The neurologic pressure in your brain, the weird visual auras and things are all gone. The GI, the SIBO, or if that's what it actually was, seems to be all that's gone. Is that correct?
That is, as long as I stay carnivore. Mm-hmm. If I sway off just to even look at something that I shouldn't, my body says, hey, what are you doing? So it is, all of that is gone. I still, like I said, I feel like I'm probably 85% better, because I still, if I overdo, like I went horseback riding for the first time in 2 years the other day, and I usually would go for like a 4 or 5 hour ride. We're really lucky. We have Weyerhaeuser property across the street we can ride on, 500 acres. And I didn't make it that long. I made it about an hour and a half, and I could feel kind of this, I need to stop doing this. This is a bit much for me right now. So there's still healing going on, but I feel like, I'm almost there. I feel like I'm almost there. It's just a little bit of overstimulation at times.
Okay. And regarding quality of life now versus, whenever you're in the thick of things, 3 years ago or whatever it was your worst, how would you rate the difference?
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was at 0, and I'd say I'm at a 9 now. Like 9 being good, right? 0 being,
well,
I was having some issues.
Spectacular. There is a question because you mentioned dairy was a problem for you before now, but you said you're using some butter. Is it some dairy, all dairy? It seems like butter's tolerated. How do you do with dairy these days?
So if I'm having a little bit of meat aversion, which happens with me in ground beef every once in a while, never with ribeye, but with ground beef every once in a while, I'm feeling a little like, I don't really love it. I'll put some blue cheese or something in it, and it doesn't bother me like it did. And I wouldn't say it bothered me. It wasn't like I had stomach issues or skin issues, but what would happen was I would swell. And some people are like, oh, you do not. But I have pictures of my hands prior to and after, and my hands would literally swell up. So it doesn't do that now, but I haven't sat down with like one of those cheesy, meaty casseroles in a long time. I just don't do that anymore. So I can't fully answer that, I guess, but I do eat butter. And sometimes I'll eat butter and tallow combination with crispy ground beef bars or whatever they're called. So butter doesn't seem to bother me as long as I stay clear of like the skim milk stuff, anything that has any quantities of sugar, really.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I guess there's I'll call it a trend. I guess a lot of people are eating this brown butter bites. I've not had those, but a lot of people are into that lately. And so I'm sure it tastes quite good. I'm sure. I don't know if you mess with that.
I tried them, Dr. Baker, and they're fine, whatever. I don't know. They kind of taste like fudge, which to me was a little bit of a trigger. So I was like, I can't do that. But someone just said that if you burn butter, it changes the chemistry of it or something, and it can be not good for you. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of that. I'm just.
Yeah. You're going to have this Maillard reaction, this Browning reaction, which is, basically the sugar interacts with the proteins and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm sure it changes the quality somewhat. I don't know how bad it may or may not be.
Yeah.
Are you, since you've been doing this, and you're obviously your husband's lived with you and seen this whole thing, but has there been anybody else that has kind of like observed this outside of the medical, like friends, family, coworkers, people you've seen that have said, what the heck did you do? And then when you tell them, they're like, oh my God, that's bad for you. Or what's the response been?
Yes. So my best friend since I was 9 years old is a vegan. And so we have a lot of difference of opinions, but I will say that I tried to be vegan for 3 days, and it made everything so much worse that I couldn't continue. My stomach issues quadrupled, and I didn't even think that was possible. So we have difference of opinions, but she told me the other day, she's like, I'm vegan, but I love salami. So I'm not sure how vegan she actually is. How
does she know?
I was like,
how does she know she loves salami? She's vegan.
Yeah, I was
that's kind of a weird thing.
You eat salami? What's happening? So I know that there is a mix of people that say that they're vegan or say that they're vegetarian, but they actually eat meat in there and just don't tell her, oh, it's only once a week or something. So we have difference of opinions, but I missed her 40th birthday. I missed so many things while I was sick, kids' birthdays. I mean, so many things. So they have seen that I can now drive, because driving was out of the question since I was seeing stuff. And they have been actually extremely supportive, even with her veganism. So it's good. But really the biggest change has been my dad, because my dad is now carnivore. And as much as he's always loved meat, and he did Atkins and lost 50 pounds before his total knee replacement. And now, but he also used to eat bags and bags of popcorn. Mm-hmm. So now he's just not doing it. And his inflammation is down. It's only been a couple of weeks, but they see it now. It took a while because I had a lot of ups and downs and healing issues going on, but people around me are definitely noticing. Patients, everyone is just like, what's going on with you? And so it's been pretty positive, really. You said you guys owned your own business. Are you bringing your food to work, or do you eat at work, or you just do everything at home? I do everything at home, really. Because I only work part-time at the office. I just don't eat during that time.
Okay. And you mentioned a little bit of social media stuff. Do you have like a social media page or anything like that? Do you do any of that stuff and talk about your diet, or no?
I'm really bad about that. No, but I have made a recording, Dr. Baker, for YouTube. Everyone keeps telling me, start YouTube. You could totally do this. I made the recording. I have not done anything with it. But I plan to. I feel like at this point, my patients are asking me more than anybody. Like, I'd really like to see what all happened to you. What'd you do? How'd you get started? Because my husband brings his food. And so people get to see, like, he's just eating steak for lunch, or he's just eating ground beef for lunch. And they're like, that seems boring. So more people are asking me more things. And I just don't have the time in my day, because I also run a physical therapist equine clinic. So I do physical therapy on horses. I've been able to start that back up again. So I want to do it because I feel like I have the knowledge that I can, and the experience now to help people. Just at the beginning, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I didn't want to give anybody bad advice.
Well, fair enough, and I think that's a reasonable approach. Have you, within the context of your work, I suppose, has the knowledge that you've gained through your own struggle and journey and overcoming that, and the knowledge about diet, has that made work more enjoyable? Does that make sense? Or,
Oh my gosh, yes, that makes perfect sense. I love my job. I love people. I love helping people. I love when they walk out of my office and they're like, I feel better. Yes, I feel better too. So when I started hating my job, dreading going to work, I knew there was something wrong. I mean, I knew there was something wrong, obviously, because I was sick, but it was way more than just being sick. So my job is incredibly enjoyable. As you know, everyone's a little bit different, waxes and wanes, and people have their own ideals. But for the most part, my job is fantastic. And I couldn't be happier with the fact that I actually enjoy coming to work now. I was really scared the first day a couple weeks ago. I was really scared that I wasn't going to make it through the day, but it's been fantastic. And everyone has been extremely supportive. And I just love it.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Have you gotten any, let me ask, any downsides to the diet, either during the transition period or currently? Any, digestive issues or sleep problems or pains or rashes, or any of those things affect you at any time during this transition or currently?
I wouldn't really know about the diarrhea because I already had so much of that. So I'm not sure that the diet played a role, because it started getting better, rather than people are like, I have explosive diarrhea. I never had, I had already been having that. So I didn't notice any change in that. Definitely sleep was a little bit of an issue at first, because I was getting those significant like meat sweats and hot flashes, but now that's gone. So no, I didn't. No, I would say no, I guess, to answer just.